Hello, my name's Leanne Rakitic and I'm here to talk to you today about a maths activity for grade 2 students focusing on a phenomenon that appears in nature called tessellation. I will begin the activity by explaining to the students what tessellation is. I will explain to them that tessellation is a continuous pattern that is created using geometric shapes. I will then proceed to show them some basic examples of some tessellations. We'll start off with this one, and I'll ask the students if they recognise the shape in this tessellation. Hopefully they'll recognise that it's a square. I will then show them this, and hopefully they could see the triangles in this tessellation, or maybe even some diamonds. I will then show them this one, and hopefully they'll recognise the hexagons. I will then proceed to say that for it to be a tessellation, that the shapes must fit exactly together and that there should be no gaps between the shapes. I will then move on to ask the students if they could think about any tessellations they might have in their home. I may point out, if it doesn't get brought up, that have they noticed their tiles? If they have bathroom tiles or kitchen tiles, that there may be tessellations there. I will then go on to ask them if they think they may have seen some tessellations in nature. And then once we've discussed that a little bit, I'll go and show them examples of my tessellations in nature. And I will firstly show them the pineapple and the pineapple skin and its tessellation, and then the turtle and the turtle shells tessellation. And then we'll move on to this fantastic tessellation of the honeycomb and their hexagons, which is great. I will then show them this one and see if they could recognise where this may come from. Now they may or may not recognise it, but I will then show them this one of the snake. And we will look at the snake skin and see if we could recognise the shapes on the snake skin. Some may see it as hexagons or not quite right hexagons, and some may see it as diamonds. Okay, I'll then introduce the activity, which is colouring and cutting of our snake here. Oops, he's upside down. Okay, so we'll be colouring and cutting the snake. I'd first like the students to colour in the snake, making sure that they highlight the pattern. This can be done either in 2 colours or multicolours, just as long as the pattern is highlighted. It cannot be one solid colour. They might want to do their favourite football team, something like that, but it cannot be in one solid colour. So it'll be something similar to my crazy colourful snake here. Okay, once the kids have coloured in the snake, they will then be required to cut it out and place the tongue on the snake. I will then help them by punching a hole, adding the string, and then we will place the snakes up around the classroom. Okay, while they're doing the activity, I'll just make sure that I'm helping, if need be, with cutting or attaching the snake's tongue and making sure they are doing it in more than one colour, things like that. Okay, so once the children have finished the activity, we will then sit down on the floor and just go over briefly a couple of questions. So I will ask them again what they think tessellation is. I will then ask them, should there be any gaps in a tessellation pattern? Hopefully they say no. And then I'll ask them again, where do they think we can find tessellations in nature? I would then like to finish off the activity by showing them a short clip called tessellation, or it's actually about a book called Tessellation. The book is written by Emily Grosvenor, and it's a great clip about a little girl called Tessa, and it'll just give the students a great overview of tessellations. So as she goes through her environment, she sees tessellations everywhere. So that's just a picture of the book there. Okay, thanks for listening.